Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, which just happens to be part 2 in the 2-part series called Top 20 Lies the Narcissist Uses to Smear You With. So before we get into it, let's just briefly recap on what a smear campaign is and why every single narcissist uses it to abuse you. So a smear campaign is a set of lies and the spreading of rumors the narcissist engages in to destroy your credibility, your reputation, and to stop people from believing you when you go to tell the truth. It's basically a preemptive strike that will prevent anyone from believing you, from believing your side of the story when you go to talk about the abuse. It's also about punishing you and isolation. They want everyone to leave you. They want everyone to believe their lies, the narcissist lies, and you to be absolutely all alone. They want you to be miserable and without any support system at all. So continuing with number 11 lie the narcissist uses to smear you with. You've changed. They just don't recognize you anymore. They married one person and now you are a completely different person that they just don't recognize. You've let yourself go. You never want to touch them or show them any kind of affection, and they just feel absolutely lost in this relationship with someone who is so different to the person they fell in love with. Now, the narcissist is extremely cunning, as you know. They are master manipulators. So when they're smearing you with this type of lie and they're saying that you just let yourself go and put on all this weight and they just don't recognize the changes in you, they don't understand the changes in you, they're not stupid enough to come across as being totally superficial. Well, the really overt narcissists might, but normally it will be portrayed as the narcissist cares about you and they don't understand why you just don't care about yourself anymore. They're not superficial. They don't care whether you're fat, skinny, tall, short, whatever. It matters not to them. But what does matter is the fact that they just can't get you to look after yourself, and it's beginning to impact on the marriage or the relationship, and you just won't do anything about it despite their efforts to help you. What they're certainly not telling everyone when they're spreading these types of lies is that the fact that you don't want to be intimate with them anymore, you don't want to have them touch you, is because they're abusing you. They're not going to tell everyone that maybe you've put on weight because of the anxiety you experience and that you turned to food because they were abusing you. And the fact that every time they attack you over your weight and make you feel horrible, this just makes you want to turn to that type of self-medicating even more. Number 12 lie the narcissist uses to smear you with is a really common one that I hear, and they love to bring this up in family court to smear you with. And that lie is that you've got addiction issues. Now, every time you will have just a glass of wine, perhaps on the weekends, or just any time you're sitting down, relaxing, enjoying a drink, those are the times the narcissist will pick to start an argument. They love to start an argument while you're drinking. It might just be that you enjoy having a couple of glasses of wine on the weekend, but those are the times the narcissist will gaslight you and bait you into defending yourself. They know you are more likely to challenge their gaslighting, to defend yourself when you've had a drink. So what do? They equate the alcohol for your outburst, not the fact that they were abusing you and you were defending yourself. You had a little bit of Dutch courage, which you may not have at other times. They will equate that alcohol, that glass of wine you're having, with your over-the-top reactions and over-sensitivity. And they love to make sure they've got an audience when they are baiting you when you have a drink in your hands. So, for example, you're at a party or it's Christmas and the champagne is flowing. That is just the perfect time for them to start an argument and to support their future smear campaign that you've got addiction issues because you were going off when you had that drink in your hand. So this is the little seed of truth they plant in the minds of others, in that, yes, you were going off in inverted commas. Yes, you had a drink in your hand, but the reason that you were going off is because they were abusing you and you were defending yourself. You were justifying your position. You were explaining why what they're saying about you is wrong. Number 13 lie the narcissist uses to smear you with is you don't like their friends, you don't like their family, and you're trying to isolate them from them. You just cannot stand the fact that they have relationships outside of your relationship. Does this sound familiar, guys, when the narcissist was trying to isolate you from your loved ones? Yes, this again is projection. Now, here's another example of where the narcissist throws in just that little seed of truth, because it may be true that you don't like their family or some of their friends. And why is that if that's the case? Maybe it's because their family is also abusive towards you. The narcissist's parents or sibling, they hate you because you are an intruder into their family. And of course, the narcissistic family is always meddling in the family of their child and or their sibling. Maybe it's true that you don't like their friends. The narcissist is not telling everyone, however, that their friends were also rude to you. Maybe they encouraged the narcissist in your life to cheat on you because they deserve so much better than you, although it really doesn't take too much encouragement if it's a narcissist that you're dealing with. Or maybe the narcissist has set it up that way by continually telling their flying monkeys about what a terrible person you are and how badly you treat them, which affects everyone's opinion of you. So can you see what's going on here when the narcissist is using this lie where you are trying to prevent them from seeing their loved ones? It's projection again, but they are using the flying monkeys to extend that domestic violence. And then they get to say to you, when they're really sinking the boot in to make you feel all alone, everyone agrees with me. Number 14, egregious lie the narcissist uses to smear you with is that you are a stalker. Now, they can use this lie, and they do, if you're still in the official relationship with them or not, if they've discarded you or you've left them. They will tell everyone that you're obsessive. You just can't manage your life. You are so caught up in what they're doing, if you're still with them, that you ring them or message them 10, 20 times a day, and it's just driving them nuts. They feel like you are just harassing them and checking up on their every move. An example that I use in my book, Fake Love, around how the narcissist sets you up to appear obsessive and insecure very early on in the relationship, is the example where Sophie is calling Justin, messaging him, and he gets the call in front of others, and he says something like, "Oh my goodness, this is the 10th time today she has messaged. I don't know why she's so insecure." People hear this and they believe him. Why wouldn't they believe the narcissist who appears to be so caring for you? What they're not telling everyone is, of course, that was probably the first time you messaged that day, and you were simply wanting them to pick up some milk for breakfast on their way home from work. If you have managed to escape that toxic relationship, they will tell everyone that you are a stalker because you're perhaps calling them, trying to get answers, trying to get some closure, some accountability. They've left you in a world of pain. You're so confused. You don't know why they did what they did. And perhaps you're seeing them with that new soulmate after they discarded you like yesterday's garbage. They're telling everyone that you're a stalker because you understandably want some type of accountability and you want answers. If, goodness forbid, you happen to run into the narcissist at some location, the narcissist will tell everyone that you were stalking them. And that is just one example of how you are following them around everywhere. Now, of course, they're not going to tell others that that's your grocery store that you always shop in, and they actually live 20 miles away. This is a setup, guys. The narcissist stalks you and then tells everyone else that you are the stalker. It's a setup. There are very few coincidences when it comes to running into the narcissist, but the narcissist will flip the script when they're spreading lies about you, and they will tell everyone that you were in fact stalking them. Number 15 lie: you're a bad parent. They just couldn't take it anymore. They tried to make this family work for the children's sake, but you were more interested in your career or your hobbies or whatever else they're attacking you about, and you just had no time for the children, for your family, and they needed to get out for the children's sake. And of course, you only ever want to argue, and they just don't think that's the right environment for their children. Now, this is a particularly painful lie to hear about yourself, because if you're a non-narcissist, your role as a mother or a father is what defines you. It's the most important role in your life. But the narcissist smears you with that which will hurt you the most. And of course, your love for your children trumps everything. And this is why it hurts so much when you hear them telling everyone that you're a terrible parent. And when they're spreading this lie, they will actually use examples of their own abuse to support their lie. And by that, I mean your reactions to their abuse. Now, maybe they have created an argument or baited you into reacting by poking and prodding until you finally erupted, and they made damn sure the kids were there. They monitor their own behavior whilst they're getting you to escalate until finally they get exactly what they want, which is for you to erupt and defend yourself. But they do this in front of an audience which just happens to be sadistically their own children. And of course, they know that you will feel bad about that. So your guilt at having yelled perhaps in front of the children will be used when they're lying about what a terrible parent you are to others. And this type of manipulative behavior is just so sadistic, because your children only see you erupting. They're not going to understand that the actual abuser has set this situation up, and their little brains are still growing, and they are absorbing the fact that you are the person who yells and screams all the time, and the actual abuser in this relationship is the victim. Number 16 lie the narcissist smears you with: you are a drama queen. Every day they have to put up with your drama. You overreact, you're oversensitive, and the worst thing is you can't take a joke. You've got no sense of humor, and you're just always trying to start an argument. There is never a peaceful moment, and you just need drama around you 24/7. So you will all know by now that when the narcissist is accusing you of having no sense of humor, that's because they were insulting you, and their joke, in inverted commas, was not funny. And if they're spreading lies about you wanting to start arguments, most of the time that's because you were trying to get some answers, you were trying to make them accountable, or It simply just didn't happen at all. Whatever they say about you and being a drama queen is them talking about themselves. You will know that drama follows the narcissist everywhere, and they cannot live without it. If there's not drama going on, then they will intentionally create it, because any type of peace and harmony makes them feel anxious and agitated. Number 17 lie. You're irresponsible. They love to use this type of lie, especially in regards to finances. They will tell everyone that you just use credit card after credit card, and they just can't get you to budget. They just can't get you to understand the value of money, and that money doesn't grow on trees, and they simply can't take your irresponsibility anymore. Now, financial abuse is nearly always a part of narcissistic abuse. Money is power, and you are to be entirely powerless in this relationship. So what they're not going to tell everyone when they're lying about you, of course, is that you actually had some pretty cool financial budgeting skills because of what they expected you to live on. They've maybe given you $100 a week to buy groceries for a family of 5, and you did it, but they were never happy. They wanted to sit down and pour through grocery receipts with you to see how you could do better. Or maybe they gave you were so privileged that they gave you a credit card with $1,000 limit on it, and you just used it on frivolous stuff, when in actual fact you were buying the children their birthday presents or perhaps their school uniforms. They're not going to tell everyone about how you have to survive on the pittance they give you while they are off buying extravagant, luxurious items for themselves. Number 18 lie. You're lazy. You just won't get off your big fat you-know-what and do a load of dishes. The house is an absolute pigsty. You use the dryer instead of hanging the clothes out, and they're working their butts off to support you, and you are just lazy. You just want everything done for you, and they're sick of coming home to a messy house. Now, that's just one example of how they imply that you're lazy, or they outright accuse you of being lazy. But if we examine what is really going on, you might be looking at a situation where you've got kids, you're working too, they do absolutely nothing to help. They expect you to do everything, and the house is not unhygienic. It's just a home that looks like children live in it. They also like to talk about your laziness in terms of you never wanting to do anything with them. They want to go out to dinner, they want to spend time with you, but you just want to hang in front of the television watching Netflix all day. And they have to actually ring their friends and hang out with them because you just never want to leave the house. And maybe that's true. You don't want to leave the house with them because they treat you so badly. You predict a scene will occur with them starting an argument, as it has in the past. If you go out to dinner, you have got nothing to talk to them about, because you know if you open your mouth to speak, they will twist your words and you would forever be walking on eggshells. So yes, you do avoid going out with them. But once again, the reason for that is a direct result of their abuse. Number 19 lie. You're so needy. They just feel suffocated with you. They want you to have a life of your own, and they tell you that your independence, so to speak, is really important to them, and they encourage you to go out there and have a life of your own, have interests of your own. They want you to have a life of your own. They encourage you to have a life of your own, but you won't go and get any type of interest, and you're always relying on them for company. Now, what they're not telling others is that you've probably dropped any type of passion you had in your life. For instance, you may have enjoyed going to the gym or to a painting class or a dancing class with your friends, and you dropped those because every time you walked out the door, you knew that you would be punished covertly when you got home with things like the silent treatment. And of course, you were accused of being needy for wanting support at the times you should absolutely expect support, like when you're sick or when you're pregnant or when you have a tragedy in your life, like losing a parent or a loved one. Those are the times that you should absolutely take support for granted, but it will be those occasions that they accuse you of being needy. This is also a particularly heinous lie because the narcissist, as we know, wants to isolate you from your support system. And when they've got you all alone and the narcissist is the only person in your life, then of course you're going to become dependent on them, which they flip the script or they reframe as you being needy when they have set that situation up. And number 20 lie, and the last lie in this two-part series, is no one likes you because of the way you treat others. And this is why they have to either get out or they did get out. You've got no friends. You have got no one because you treat everyone like garbage. People started to see you for who you really are, and they didn't like what they saw. And this is why you have practically no one in your life. Now, what they're not saying is that if you do have few friends in your life, if you are alienated from your family, it's because the narcissist has been 100% responsible for smearing you and turning those people against you. So here you are feeling absolutely crushed, destroyed because of the abuse. And the narcissist is telling everyone that you deserve to be alone. You deserve to have no friends because of the way you treat others. And this is just your karma. Of course, they don't want to come across as being a monster. So they need to protect their image when they're saying these types of things by saying them under the guise of caring or having cared and just given up caring about you because you just wouldn't change. You wouldn't get help. So they will say something like, you know what, I stuck it out for so long, but in the end, I saw what everyone else was seeing, which is you're a horrible person, and I just had to get out because I couldn't take it anymore. No one can stand you, and the liars embellished with, it's all your fault. So there are the last 10 lies that I hear regularly in my counseling practice with my clients whom I work specifically to support in their narcissistic abuse recovery. You'll find the first 10 lies in part 1. So make sure you look out for that. Now, I would love to hear some of your examples. This is just the tip of the iceberg, clearly. But if you would like to comment in the Fake Love and Flying Monkeys support group, private page on Facebook, I'm sure everyone else would love to see the similarities between your smear campaign, or the smear campaign the narcissist in your life is inflicting upon you, and their own. So that brings us to the end of yet another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. As always, guys, please just see my website link in the description if you would like to have a one-on-one counseling session with me. All my sessions are online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And also see the link to order your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Until tomorrow's episode, it's bye from me for now. And always remember, guys, you are worthy of love, and you are certainly worthy of a whole lot more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.